The World Health Organization has predicted that by 2050, 1 in 4 people will have hearing loss. That equates to 2.5 billion people in the world's population. This is fascinating. I am so excited to talk about this in today's video. Hi, if you're new, my name is Emily. I created Definite Hearing as a way to increase awareness for the deaf and hard of hearing. Why would I do this? Well, I'm hard of hearing myself. I've worn hearing aids since I was 4 months old, and I love them so much. Most people don't understand how severe my hearing loss is because of how well I speak. This is the difference of proper medical care and early intervention. We're going to talk some more about this in today's video. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to making more excellent hearing related content for you. All right, so of these 2.5 billion people that will experience hearing loss, the WHO estimates that 700 million of them will need medical care in order to function properly. The WHO stressed that it is incredibly important for all of these people to receive proper hearing care. Their concern is that this is not already happening. The report noted that there were several issues with the current hearing-related health industry. The WHO Director General, Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, said this about hearing. Our ability to hear is precious. Untreated hearing loss can have a devastating impact on people's ability to communicate, to study, and to earn a living. It can also impact on people's mental health and their ability to sustain relationships. This is very true. If you followed my channel for a while, you know that I am a huge advocate for hearing devices. The reasoning for this is because it can positively impact people's lives, not just those who wear them, but those around them. The WHO's report found that there was an extreme lack of accurate information with regards to hearing devices in general. They also noticed that there are extreme stigmas. People feel old, people feel like they have disabilities when they wear hearing aids or other hearing devices. There's a perception about them that is incorrect. There is a lack of early intervention and proper medical knowledge. I have seen examples of all of these. Sadly, I have heard of examples where ear, nose, and throat doctors have failed to properly prescribe hearing aids for children that need them because they felt the risk and the implications of that child being bullied for wearing hearing aids would be greater than the benefit of the child wearing hearing aids. That is so absolutely messed up. This doctor failed to make a proper medical diagnosis and recommendation because of what he thought others would think, not what was best for the child. And sadly, this is a very prevalent problem in the hearing loss world. People even refuse to get hearing devices for themselves when they need it. It is critical to be self-aware. And if you're not hearing, like if you're not seeing, you would go get glasses. If you're not hearing, go get some kind of hearing treatment. No one breaks an arm and just lets it heal on his own. They put it in a cast and they seek the proper medical care. For some reason, hearing is different, and the World Health Organization has identified this issue. The World Health Organization said that the best way to prevent these increasing numbers of hearing loss are for children to administer the proper vaccinations against viral infections that can cause hearing loss, such as vaccinations against rubella and meningitis. In addition to that, the earlier that children are diagnosed with their hearing loss, fit with hearing devices, and undergo speech therapy, they are able to develop language and develop normally as a hearing child. Without that verbal stimulation to the brain, they cannot undergo the auditory lingual processing that is necessary for oral communication and getting jobs and communicating effectively later in life. The World Health Organization report also noted that early intervention hearing care is incredibly cost effective. Based on their numbers, for every $1 US the government invests in hearing healthcare, the return is $16. I have definitely seen this. I have seen this in the lobbying for children's hearing devices. For a child that does not have hearing assistive devices and early intervention early on when they're born with a hearing loss, their local government will pay $400,000 over their course of their primary, secondary education levels for elementary school, middle school, and high school. $400,000, the cost of a disability education that can be avoided. Not to mention that that child, once they graduate high school, will not be able to go on and get a college degree. So early intervention is all about enabling and empowering children with hearing loss. One thing about this WHO report that I disliked was that it's pointed out that deaf individuals could use sign language to communicate and become literate. If someone only uses sign language, this in fact is not true. If they only use sign language and they abstain from hearing devices, there is no connection between sign language and the phonemes of speech. It is very difficult for someone who does not have hearing devices or hearing assistive technology. It is very difficult for an individual who has never heard sound and only communicates via sign to understand language, whether written or spoken. The phonemes make no sense. In sign language, there is no connection between the way you would say a word versus sign a word. My parents actually did not use sign language with me. I do not know how to use sign language, but I do know how to speak and write properly. I know that I'm literate, and I'm grateful for that because those skills have enabled me to get a job and be independent. So I appreciate the WHO for making this report and calling out these huge discrepancies in hearing healthcare, but it needs to be understood that sign language alone is not a treatment for proper hearing care if we want people to be able to do what the WHO director stated before, to be able to communicate, study, and earn their own living. Hearing devices are incredible. They make such a difference. Sometimes, however, for people that wear them, they don't meet all expectations. Early intervention, speech therapy, and cute speech are other tools that help people learn speech if they have a hearing loss. So there you go. What do you think about the WHO's report? I wonder what they're going to do with this report. I wonder if they're going to encourage governments to make changes. I wonder if they're going to set standards for hearing-related healthcare. We definitely need some across the world. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to making more hearing and hearing loss related content for you. Stay strong, stay amazing, and have a great day.